Good morning. Drinking my Bulletproof coffee this morning. In fact, it's not like a conventional Bulletproof, but I add some coconut oil, mainly. I would say a teaspoon, a big teaspoon. It's not that much. And I add up some nutmeg powder and some cinnamon powder. It's good. It's really good. I'm going to be flying to Montreal in 2 days. Spend some time with my family before the crazy Christmas time. Looking forward to it. Took some notes yesterday, I think, about this idea that when you're a kid and you where's the note? I can't seem to find it. It's just gone. Oh my god. All right. Well, I got it. So when you're a kid and you make up your own game. Oh, let me take this out. Too much gear on myself right now. I had the problem with those AirPods is that they're so light that you forget that they're even there. I did sometimes, I made a full video with a good camera and finished it. Was good take. Look at the material, look at the footage, and I'm like, oh shit, I was wearing my AirPods and I obviously didn't want them to appear in the video. So so when you're a kid, you play your own game. You went in that, I don't know, in a corner in the backyard, or even at kindergarten or whatever. You end up, you made your own game. And it's so much fun. It's there's a feeling to it. It's as if you sort of forget the boundaries of your own bodies. Your body and imagination and mind are just transcending, and your experience becomes very, very powerful. I mean, kids are able to do that very easily. And as soon as someone else comes along and you kind of, they want to play your game, or they crush it. They crush it. It's it's not working anymore. They destroyed it just by trying to control it, or just because they don't understand. They're not on the same wavelength as you are to play that game. And I would say this to you. I would say, don't let anyone crush your game. Whatever it is. You don't have to explain. You don't have to. And I think that's why, even as we are getting older, I surely am. Having some hobbies is really important, and that's something that I almost need to force myself to have. Things I do, not for the result, or not for the outcome, but only for the pleasure of doing something. And I think this should be, it's you should have a few things in your life that are considered as hobby, and that are for you only, for your eyes only. Sounds weird, but that it's only your little thing, your little bubble sort of activity where you transcend mind and body and just become the experience. It's not necessarily easy, okay? Of course we lose that from growing up in society. But it's so rewarding. And funnily enough, for me, and this is what I realize, making those videos is a bit like that. If I let someone come and tell me that this isn't right, that I should do it differently, it crushes me in a way, because it sort of breaks that bubble of natural excitement, of like naive intention of doing something that is meaningful. And when I say meaningful, it's just for the moment. So I'm back on the ketogenic diet for over a month now. Month and a half. I first discovered keto 2.5 years ago, 2016. And I've been like on and off. It's like following it for a while and then usually taking a break and trying out something else. I've done many diets in the last 2.5 years to help my IBS issue. If you don't know what IBS is, it stands for irritable bowel syndrome, and it says what it says. It's just being highly sensitive to different foods and struggling with the proper digestion. And that's been something I had to deal with for a long time, 10-20 years on and off. So diets have been helpful. Like I found different diets that were helpful, and ketogenic diet is helpful because there's barely no sugar, and so you consume a very, very, very low amount of carbs, which doesn't sort of feed your gut flora in a way, and doesn't exacerbate the effect of the bad bacteria in your system. Anyway, obviously it's much more complex than that, and I think even doctors and science today struggles to really explain different phenomena. But most people follow keto to lose weight, and it seemed to work pretty well. I did lose fat. I don't have much to lose, but I did lose. But that's not my goal. I think for me, if I look at the effects and what the priorities for me is to put my symptoms, my IBS symptoms at bay, and keto works for that. So that's awesome. And the mind clarity, the mental clarity, that means also having a more balanced levels of energy throughout the day. That's been something I'd really measured every time, and I could see the difference every time I was on a keto and in ketosis. I could sort of record the details of how incredibly more sharp my mind was compared to my normal self, with sort of more crashing on low and down during the day with sugar rush or low sugar. My sleep has been affected in a really great way. I sleep so much deeper, I cannot even tell you. It's just crazy. I put my head on the pillow, 3 minutes, I'm out. I'm gone. And the next time I'm going to wake up is around 4 a.m. So I had this cycle of sleep that was super deep. And most of the time I'm actually quite awake. And from that point, often I will just get up, because I know that this sleep that will follow is not deep sleep. And I'm not really interested in having that just turning around and not falling asleep deep, not falling in a deep sleep anymore. I don't see the point. So that's why I've been waking up since I do keto, the ketogenic diet. I've been waking up around usually between 4:30 and 5:30. Sometimes earlier, but rarely. So sleep has been really, really great benefit. Good sleep. In general as well, like not being so hungry during the day. Like it's so much easier, because I must say, like I've done sort of a 1 meal a day fasting, intermittent fasting for over 2 years. So I cycled through it, but that's been most of my 2 years. Like most days I was fasting, and I am currently still like a lazy 16-hour fast. So I will have my first meal around 11 or 12 in the morning. So I just sort of skip breakfast. Still feels better. 2 meals feels fine right now. But yeah, I don't really get hungry or hangry in a way, like this kind of a mix of hunger and anger. And I would before. There were times in the morning, if I wouldn't have my first meal, I would be like, Arr. But that's not anymore. So, I mean, fasting taught me that, or rather, fasting helped my body to get used to different cycles of eating and feeling more relaxed about food in general. So less mood swings, less anxiety as well, which comes with a mental clarity. So it's easier for me, like, to notice, oh man, you're stressed. What is this about? Because I must say, I mean, I cannot tell if it's only keto. Of course, there are so many factors, but every time I was on keto, when I get up, so when I wake up in the morning, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, I wake up feeling good. And at any other time, on any other different diet, I wake up with some anxiety. Shit, I need to do that. Like the first thought I have is sort of a anxious thought. I need to do this. Oh shit, there's this meeting today, and so on. So I wonder, I mean, because keto is really focused on fat intake, I just thought all the other diets I've been following were pretty much low fat. Most of them were low fat. And I feel like maybe our bodies need that so much that the anxiety we feel is about finding resources that will feed that need. It's like an alarm clock, telling you, hey, you should be conscious right now that there's an issue and we should fix it. But because we're so confused in our dieting, that we think it's sort of that stress becomes mental, when it should be sort of a drive for you to go get the resources you need. And most people who jump to keto and start feeding themselves more fat, they mention this kind of, it's like, okay, now I can relax. I've got what I need. I've got what I needed. So improving fat intake, so adding more fat to my diet, adding quality fats has been, has been a huge benefit on my level of how relaxed really I can be now. So it decreased my anxiety to some degree. Again, I'm not a doctor, so this is just, I'm not a scientist. I'm just sharing from experience. Maybe it's useful for you. Maybe you have more notes than I have, and please share them if you do. it's crazy how when the digestion, how do you pronounce that? Digestion, digestion. When you can digest things well, everything else is quite good. And I mean, if you have like a iron stomach and you can basically digest anything, you're very, very lucky. And I'm not sure this reflects the rest of society. I think most people have issues. Yeah. Right now I'm thinking, should I keep going and make this video way too long? In fact, I didn't really want to talk about the keto diet and everything, but I know some people are interested. And also, I've made so many videos before around intermittent fasting that I think it's only fair that I kind of give a bit of an update. Yeah. I guess that's pretty much it for today. What kind of thoughts, what kind of message can I leave you with? Well, I'll say this. Play your game. Don't be shy or scared to have fun by yourself. Don't let people crush it. Don't let anyone or anything break that sense of transcending body and mind into a powerful experience. This is your right. This is your gift to yourself. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for spending some time with me in the morning.